A very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. As usual, let us start with the snippets. The very first one, please listen very carefully. A casual reader, a casual learner will read this. Confidentiality concern. Government officials advised against using AI tools. Apparently, obviously, it looks like a very simple news item. Almost all the words are familiar. I'm sure you all know the meanings of these words. But for a smart learner, there are three things to learn, recollect, and consolidate from the exam point of view. What is the very first word over here, important from the exam point of view? Confidentiality. Confidentiality is one word. Confidentiality, we also use a word, something like classified information. Confidential information, classified, not disclosed to public. One thing. And you have to recollect confident. What is opposite of confident? Diffident. Confident, opposite, diffident. And you should also recollect another word. What is that word? An important word. How do you pronounce this? Confident. Confident means a person you trust. If you have a circle, you trust a particular person, you share everything with that person, and that person is known as confident. Confident is different, confident is different. Based on this, so much you can recollect. And concern, already someone has responded. A common error a lot of people say, I would like to meet the concerned person. That is wrong. We have to say, I would like to meet the person concerned. That I have told you guys many a time. Second thing, and we have this word advised. Again, you have to be alert, smart enough to recollect. ADVISED, this is a verb form, and VICE is a noun form. But if you take the word VICE separately, it has two or three meanings. One meaning, vice president, means a former vice president. Not vice president, means president, subordinate, vice president. But if you take the word vice as a noun, singular vice, vices plural. What does it mean? Bad qualities or bad habits of a person. Virtue, good habits or good qualities of a person. Whenever we talk about a person, we talk about his virtues and vices. What does it mean? Good qualities and bad qualities. See, a simple snippet, there's so much to learn. Casual learner, there's nothing to learn, all are familiar words. But a smart learner, intelligent student, intelligent candidate will recollect all these and will consolidate whatever he or she knows. That is the right approach when you prepare for a competitive exam. We have another snippet over here. Looks, you can see a lot of greenery. Unresolved issues. Congress joins Sikkim BJP to oppose the Teesta Dam rebuilding. What are the words you have to focus on? Unresolved. Resolve, one of the kith and kin, based on, very good, Maleshwari. And if you take resolve, to solve a problem, resolve the problem. And resolution, what is a noun form? Resolution, you have to recollect. And also, unresolved issues means issues, problems not sorted out, not resolved. Imagine there's a problem very difficult to resolve. Then we use the idiom Gordian knot, means a difficult problem to deal with. Congress joins the Sikkim BJP to oppose Teesta Dam rebuilding. Yes, when you see a lot of greenery, someone has written the word lush, Murthy, very good. Lush green vegetation, a lot of greenery, verdant, VERDANT, that also means a lot of greenery. You have to recollect words like meadows and pastures, all these words. Very good, I appreciate your contribution. Otherwise, there's nothing. And when you see a dam, here we have a dam rebuilding, you have to recollect the word breach. Breach has two different meanings. One meaning a crack, it goes with this context. Another meaning violation, breach of agreement, breach of contract. Those you have to recollect. We have another snippet over here. Defense procurement. There is one important word, procure. Defense procurement. What do you understand? Defense procurement related to arms and ammunition. defense. And procure means to obtain. If you go to big companies like multinational companies or blue chip companies, they have a separate department, procurement department, and there's an officer or a manager, procurement manager, that you have to recollect. US Striker infantry vehicle deal progresses. Some deal between the US and India, and that particular deal progresses. Means some headway has been seen, progress, move forward. The US you have to recollect, but it doesn't go with the headlines. Do remember. What is the next news item? State of play, you cannot make out. Targeting a Dravidian icon and ideology. Tamil nationalists moving against Periyar. Periyar, popular leader, once very popular leader, Tamil leader. And here it talks about targeting a Dravidian icon and ideology. Target someone or something. And targeting what here? Dravidian, you all know, South Indian, distinct culture, Dravidian, especially Tamil. And icon and ideology. Ideology means a belief system. Ideology in related to something. And icon has two different meanings. One, it goes with symbols related to religion. Another, a role model. He is my icon. He is my role model. He is my idol. All these words you have to recollect. Moving against Periyar, that is related to the news item. But important words you can think of. I think a lot of cricket lovers among you also, I'm sure many of you like cricket. You may not say cricket is not my cup of tea. And today it is next assignment, India-England ODI series from today. All simple words, not. But when you focus on the word today, you will think of tenses. You will think of present perfect tense. When I teach present perfect, I teach 6 uses. One of the uses, we use present perfect tense with adverbs of time that indicate incomplete time period. For example, SBI once I gave a question. She wrote 2 books this year. This year is incomplete. Then the sentence is wrong. We have to say she has written 2 books this year. Then it is correct. Very important. Only a few know this. And if you know this, you are one among a few. That's all about this news item. Let us go to the main headline. What does it say? The front page of the Hindu paper. 60% polling recorded in Delhi election. 60% polling has been or recorded in Delhi election. It is in past. And when you see the word election, you have to think of words like constituency, contest, and campaign, canvass, loose deposit, and forfeit. So many words are there. You have to thumping majority, landslide victory, coalition government, alliance. All these words should be at your fingertips. You all know Delhi elections, and the picture shows an old couple going in for casting vote. I think his parents. Chief 𝐓𝐡𝐞 𝐇𝐢𝐧𝐝𝐿 with his family members. This is what I tell students. When we tell students family members wrong, usually we tell regular classes, online, offline, and students see family members in the Hindu paper, that to front page. They may get confused. How come? Do remember, correct expression is members of family. Then why does Hindu use family members, which is considered a common error? There's something called modern English or current English. The Hindu paper or any other newspaper for that matter always tries to use modern or current English, and we don't consider modern or current English from the exam point of view. Whatever goes with standard British English, that holds good. Standard British English, we cannot say family members, we have to say members of family. No confusion whatsoever. Mamata focuses on state stability to draw investors. Draw investors means to collect or to invite, gather investors. Very good. Nagesh. Oh, Nagesh, after a long time, you have missed a few classes, I suppose. Awaiting the time Dalits ascend to leadership. There are 2 words over here. One, awaiting, another, ascend. Await, wait. What is the difference? When we use await, we have to use a preposition for. Waiting for someone. And when we use the word await, we should not use a preposition for. Awaiting for someone, wrong. Wait for someone is acceptable. And that you have to recollect. Ascend. Ascend means go up. Ascend, descend. Both opposite words, antonyms. Ascend means going up. Descend means coming down. Noun forms ascent, descent. That also you have to know. Narcotics network is backing Jammu and Kashmir infiltrators. There's one word here, two words rather, one narcotics, another infiltrators. Narcotics goes with drugs. Infiltrators, those who enter a particular country, usually along the border, illegally. We use the word infiltrators, and they have a different ideology, usually terrorists. We use infiltrators, an important word. Here we have Fort William in Kolkata renamed as Vijayadurg, change of name. And the main, here you can see another headline, 100 Indians deported from US for illegal entry arrive in Amritsar on military transport plane. There is a military transport plane of the US. They have been deported. You know, it has become a major issue, but nothing wrong. No country will allow, including India. No country wants illegal immigrants to be within the country. They will try to deport. It has been delayed, in fact. And you can, nothing to learn as such, but as a smart learner, you have to recollect. Already Murthy has responded. Here you have to recollect words like diaspora, exodus, refugees, immigration, emigration, and one more, deportation, prejudice, persecution, and also someone commits a crime in a particular country, goes to some other country. What is the word you have to use? Fugitive. That also you have to recollect. Yes, Madhavi, political asylum you have to recollect. Trump vows to take over Gaza Strip and resettle Palestinians. Trump is very keen on taking the Gaza Strip, and he wants to resettle Palestinians. To what extent it is feasible, or whether it is a pragmatic approach or not, time will tell. What is the last headline over here? 6 states resolve against UGC's new draft regulation. The state says that the BJP-led centre is trying to push its ideology through the new regulations. So, UGC, University Grants Commission, their resolutions have been opposed, and based on that, 6 states resolve against UGC's new draft regulation. Draft regulation of the UGC has been opposed by 6 states. It is about that, an important one, because it goes with education. And I've done many editorials related to education, very important. Now let us go to today's editorial. What is it about, and what is the enrichment? This is the enrichment, broadly speaking, reading comprehension skill, contextual awareness, effective vocabulary, grammar consolidation, and also mini mocks based on exam topics. Today we have got a lot of words, and about 10 words. Some of them are familiar, but I have brought important words. There are some new words and important words. What is the very first one? Repatriate. Today the editorial goes with Indians being sent back to India from the US. Based on that, the very first word, repatriate. What is the meaning of the word repatriate? Good morning. Who is this? Mahesh. Part of speech, noun, meaning the act of returning someone to their home country from the US to India, especially after being deported or displaced. Why are they being deported? Because they come under the status of illegal immigrants. And you have to know the difference between emigrate and immigrate. When someone goes out of a country, that is called emigration. When someone comes into the country, that is known as immigration. Yes, influx also you have to recollect. Who is this? Nagesh. Very good. Example, the government facilitated the repatriation of stranded citizens during the pandemic. Stranded, an important word, to get stuck. Imagine you go to a village and your vehicle breaks down and no other means of transport. You cannot leave the village. Then you say, I got stranded in the village. A very good example, the government facilitated the repatriation of stranded citizens during the pandemic. This happened. Word forms, verb repatriate. Noun repatriate you can use as a person. This goes with a person. He is a repatriate. That's how we use. But generally repatriate used as a verb. What are the word combinations? Forced repatriation in the case of right now, Indians being sent out of the US, in a way it is forced repatriation, voluntary repatriation, and word usage used in legal, immigration, and international relations context. Usually it goes with immigration. Context, international relations context. Synonyms, return, deportation, restitution, an important word. Exile, banishment, expatriation, expatriate, an important word again. Some of these words are very important. Crackdown, usually it goes with police, soldiers, army, but quite often it goes with police. What does it mean? Part of speech noun. It's a compound noun meaning a strong official action taken to stop or control illegal activities. Strong official action is taken to control something that is illegal. We use the word crackdown. Crackdown on usually drug peddlers, illegal immigrants, all these combinations you have to know. Example, the government initiated a crackdown on tax evasion. Crackdown on tax evasion also an important combination. Word forms, verb crackdown, there is nothing else. Word combinations, severe crackdown, nationwide crackdown. Nationwide crackdown, statewide crackdown, local crackdown, combinations you can think of. Word usage, often used in political, law enforcement and policy discussions. Synonyms, suppression, enforcement, clamp down, better expression. Antonyms, leniency, tolerance, relaxation. When we talk about rules and regulations, strict on the one hand, on the one side, strict or stringent. On the other side, we use words like lenient. Lenient means not draconian law, you have to recollect. Very good, Naidu. Very strict laws, we say draconian laws. Spur, part of speech verb, also used as a noun. To encourage or stimulate someone to take action. To act as a catalyst, to act as a stimulus, to make action happen, to take action. The government's new policies will spur economic growth. Means what? Because of the government's new policies, you can expect economic progress or growth. Word forms, here verb and here spur can also be a noun. Word combinations, spur innovation, spur action. Word usage used in motivational, economic and policy context. Synonyms, encourage, stimulate, motivate. Antonyms, hinder, restrain, discourage. When you see hinder, hindrances is a noun form. Hurdles, hindrances, bottlenecks, all these words you have to recollect. And restrain takes a preposition from, that you have to recollect. Restrain, refrain, they take the preposition from. Hindrances, impediments, hurdles, bottlenecks, you have to recollect. Shackle. The other day, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, there was a front page of the Hindu. Indians being deported. But normal way, those Indians were shackled. I was taken aback. I was shocked. It doesn't look good, in fact, a disturbing scene. Because they could have deported properly. Perhaps they have their own reasons, but these Indians who were being deported, they were deported with shackles, chains around the waist. And here shackle can be a verb, can be a noun, meaning to restrain or limit freedom, to chain someone physically or metaphorically. Based on your thoughts, you are shackled, that is metaphorical. But you use chains and tie someone's hands and legs, then also we have to use the word shackles. We can also think of words like irons, fetters, but in this context, shackles appropriate. The dictator's laws shackled free speech, means limited. Word forms shackle, verb, noun, and plural shackles. Word combinations break free from shackles, an important expression. Economic shackles or economic, exactly. Word usage used in political, legal, and metaphorical contexts. Synonyms restrain, bind, hinder. Antonyms liberate, release, free. They have been shackled and deported. Deter, we have got many a time. Deter is a verb. Deterrence, noun. Deterrent, adjective. It could be a noun also. Deter, verb, meaning. To prevent or discourage someone from doing something. Today, imagine two rivals, they have nuclear weapons, they don't fight, no war. You can be assured of that. What is the reason? The nuclear weapons act as deterrents. No one uses. If they use, both the countries will be wiped out. Strict laws help deter crime, means stop or prevent crime. Word forms noun, deterrence, adjective, deterrent. Word combinations, deter crime, deter aggression, deter war also you can say. Word usage used in law enforcement, security and military contexts. Synonyms discourage, prevent, obstruct. Antonyms encourage, provoke, incite. When you see the word incite, I-N-C-I-T-E, you have to think of instigate. Provoke, incite, instigate one group. But there is another incite. What is the spelling of that? I-N-S-I-G-H-T, means profound, deep understanding. That's a positive word. Let us go to the next one, empathy. Empathy is an important word. Today, at the workplace, the companies want people with empathy. What does it mean? Part of speech, noun, meaning, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. In a nutshell, empathy means to place yourself in the other person's shoes or to think from the other person's point of view. Empathy. A good leader must have empathy for the team members, his or her team members. Empathy is important. Word forms adjective empathetic, adverb empathetically. Word combinations show empathy. Lack of empathy usually we use. People don't respond when someone is suffering or when someone is in troubles or pains or hardships. Then we say lack of empathy. Word usage used in psychology, leadership and interpersonal communication especially. Synonyms compassion. Compassion means a kindness. Compassion, understanding, sensitivity. Antonyms apathy, indifference, coldness. When you see the word indifference, you should also think of words like callous, stony. C-A-L-L-O-U-S. Callous means no emotions when others are suffering. But in this context, you have to recollect, but not the same one. Here, what is the word? Stoic. Stoic is a very good, Jayalakshmi. Stoic is a positive word. Stoic means positive, no response, no reaction. Negative also, no reaction. In a way, you're balanced, composed, poised, down to earth. Then we use the expression stoic. In fact, if you go to Japan, they practice, there's a philosophy called stoicism. They all practice, many of them practice stoicism. That's a positive word. That's all I suppose. Now let us go to today's editorial. Not worth the risk. It is about today if you take those who go to the US. Let me provide the background information. US is known as the big brother, one name. US is also known as Uncle Sam. When we use expressions like big brother, it means you are talking about the US. Uncle Sam means you are talking about the US. And US is also known as a melting pot. It's a country of immigrants. Today, as such, the US does not belong to the white people. Actually, it belongs to the Red Indians. The Red Indians today are the minority, and unfortunately, the land belongs to them, but today they have become a minority. And the Red Indians are known as the indigenous people of the North American continent. But people from Europe, other parts of the world, they migrated to the mainland of the North American continent. They occupied, and they killed a lot of Red Indians. And eventually what happened, white people became the mainstream, and white people not from one particular country, different countries, and based on that, America is known as the melting pot. Melting pot means in the US you see people from all over the world, and they are part of the integral part of the country, integral part of the culture. Melting pot. But today, unfortunately, anything that is in place, not excess, acceptable. Too good is too bad. And misuse of law, abuse of law, not acceptable. Based on that, this is about illegal immigration, especially Indians going to the US through Mexican border, some mountain states like Arizona state, and a very dangerous, perilous journey. Many people die when they try to go through Mexico or Arizona state. And that is one group. They come under illegal immigrants. But on the other hand, we have educated Indians. These educated Indians go in a royal way. They take exams like GRE, GMAT, IELTS or TOEFL. They get admissions, they do MS, they settle over there. No one is going to touch these people. They are very safe. They can roam in the US with confidently and without any hesitation, without any fear. But those who have gone there, those who have been staying there illegally, they have a problem. It is about them. It is not worth going there illegally. That is the main idea. Not worth the risk. What is the main idea? India must address illegal immigration. When you talk from their point of view, immigration. When you talk from India's point of view, immigration. India must address, means deal with illegal immigration with empathy and urgency. Today we have this problem, 7,08,000 or 7 lakh plus illegal Indians are there in the US. All of them are going to be deported. And this particular problem, it is going to make a tremendous negative impact on the US and on India also. Both the countries have to be prepared for the consequences. And here we talk about how to look at these illegal immigrants coming back to homeland. The editorial takes a stand and says, India must address illegal immigration with empathy and urgency. One thing is urgency, the other thing is empathy. Why should they go to the US illegally? Why should they take the risk? Is it worth? It is not worth. First question, a pertinent question, why the hell should they go illegally to the US? Imagine India offers a lot of job opportunities, employment opportunities, and they can survive here happily. They will not look at some other country. There is no need. And because of the situation back home, the struggles back home, they try to go to the US and make extra bucks, extra money. And the editorial takes a stand also about that. We have to make sure they have ample opportunities over here, then they will not think of the US. That is a broad bottom line of this editorial. Important aspect. The deportation of dozens of Indians believed to be illegal immigrants in the United States is neither surprising nor unprecedented. It is not surprising. There are so many Indians over there staying illegally. So it's a known fact. For that, usually we say an open secret. What is the meaning of open secret? Everyone knows that. Open secret. And it is not unprecedented. It has been done in the past. It had been done in the past. Over the past few years, the US government has intensified its immigration and customs enforcement operations to identify, detain, and deport individuals without proper documentation. It has intensified. The rules have been there for many years, but of late, because courtesy Trump is very strict about, in fact, he has used the word aliens. Aliens are roaming in the US streets. This is what he said. And is very particular about sending out the illegal immigrants. Intensification. For instance, between June and October 2024, the Department of Homeland Security reported that 160,000 individuals had been deported on 495 international repatriation flights to more than 145 countries, including India. The numbers are mind-blowing. How many people? Between June and October 2024, 160,000 individuals had been deported. Past perfect, passive voice. On how many international repatriation flights? 495. To more than how many countries? 145 countries, including India. It is not surprising. It is not unprecedented. This has been going on for quite some time. And when did Trump come into power? 2025. But this happened last year between June and October. This has been there. Now it has been intensified. However, the manner and timing should be cause for concern for New Delhi. Should be cause for concern. Should is used, it has two functions. One, it is used to advise or suggest someone. The other, it is used to talk about possibility, but the chances are less. Why should we worry, however, the manner and timing? There are two things. As I said, many Indians, they were shackled. The way they have been sent, manner, a cause of worry, and also timing, cause of worry. The writer justifies. To begin with, these deportations coincide with a major crackdown by ICE, spurred by Donald Trump's swearing in as a US president in January. They have been spurred by the swearing in of the president, the US president, Donald Trump. Coincide with his swearing in as the US president in January. He has made illegal immigration his number one priority. At the time of elections, at the time of campaigning, he stated categorically, number one priority. He used the word aliens. He said, I'm going to drive out all the aliens who are roaming illegally in the streets of the US. Based on that, he has made illegal immigration his number one priority. He has made, present perfect active voice. India, which has one of the largest populations of illegal immigrants in the US, estimated, this is what I was talking about, 7 lakh plus. How many Indians, illegal immigrants of Indian origin are there in the US? That is also a mind-blowing number. 7,25,000 undocumented individuals. All these will be sent back. We'll need to prepare for a significant increase in the number of returning migrants. Now, recently only a few have been sent back, but the number is staggering, 7,25,000, and Trump will definitely send back all these Indians who are there without proper documents. Second, for the first time, the use of military flight signals that the US does not intend to be challenged. You must have seen the pics, you must have noticed. They have not used the commercial flights, they have not used the passenger flights, they have used the military flights. There's a message perhaps implicit. What is it? If they send back the illegal immigrants using military planes, no one will try to challenge, no one will try to question. This is an important point. Second, for the first time, the use of military flights signals that the US does not intend to be challenged. The US does not want anyone to challenge them. This move drew protests from Colombian President Gustavo Petro, particularly after reports emerged of deported migrants being shackled. This is what? Indians were also shackled. The other day there was a pic, Indians being sent back, and they were also shackled. And people don't like that, obviously. They could have sent in a royal way or proper way. What is the need to shackle the illegal immigrants while sending back to the homeland? This move drew protests from Colombian President Gustavo Petro, particularly after reports emerged of deported migrants being shackled. The US Embassy in Delhi has also made it clear that this deportation is part of a broader initiative to tighten immigration laws. They are not focusing on India. One has to remember they have already sent back illegal immigrants to 145 countries, and India is one of those 145 countries. It is not that they are focusing only on India. Out of 145 countries, India is one among them. They want to make a broader agenda is there, broader initiative to tighten immigration laws and enforcement, reinforcing the message that illegal migration is not worth the risk. This is the main thing. They want people to know, people from across the world to know, it is not worth the risk going to the US illegally. And that is a message they want to convey. Further, one more cause for concern. Further, the timing, just ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's US visit, suggests that diplomatic efforts alone may not be enough to deter the Trump administration from pursuing such measures. Here, diplomacy doesn't work. India may try to put diplomatic pressure, but they will not be successful, in my opinion. What is the reason? What Trump is doing is something perfect, flawless, legal. He doesn't want illegal immigrants to be in his country. No one can challenge that. India will also not challenge that. If he tries to deport those with legal documents, those with staying there legally, then objections will come, protests will come, India will question. No one will appreciate that move. But he's sending back illegal immigrants. And India cannot put diplomatic pressure, suggests that diplomatic efforts alone may not be enough to stop the Trump administration from pursuing such measures. This has the potential to become a bilateral flashpoint in India-US relations. They may discuss, but India cannot put pressure on the US to stop doing this. But it will be the flashpoint, means what? Important point. Accepting its citizens, provided they are verifiably Indian and have entered other countries illegally, is undoubtedly the Indian government's responsibility. India has to take back all these, but before taking back all these, it has to make sure they belong to India and that India has to verify, provided they are verifiably Indian and have entered other countries illegally. First, they have to verify whether those people are Indians or not. Second, they have to verify whether they have entered the US illegally or not. Once these two are confirmed, it is India's responsibility to take these people back. That's what the sentence says. However, stricter controls must be enforced to prevent Indians from embarking on perilous journeys to cross into the US via Mexico and Canada. Many people are dying. I don't know how many of you know. Are you guys aware of this? Because usually our newspapers don't report, but if you read international newspapers, especially Mexico border, and there's a few mountain states, Indians try to climb over the walls or cross the desert, and that is very perilous, means dangerous. Many people die in that process. However, we have to control that. Stricter controls must be enforced. Passive voice. We must enforce something. Something must be enforced. Passive voice. To prevent Indians from embarking on perilous journeys. We don't know, because usually if you take especially the southern part of our country, many Indians from the south, when they go to the US, they follow the royal path. What is the royal path? And many of these are students, they are graduates, postgraduates, they take GRE, GMAT or TOEFL. They go in a royal way. This is a picture we have. But if you go to the north, Gujarat, Haryana, Punjab, and they try to, this is a general statement, mind you, a general statement, they try to embark on perilous journeys to cross into the US via Mexico and Canada. The government must ensure that young people in states, where did we lose? The government must ensure that young people in states with high deportation rates, as I said, not a general, this is also a general statement, but 80%, then we say, Gujarat, Punjab and Haryana understand that working illegally abroad is not a guaranteed path to success. Working illegally abroad is not at all advisable. It is not a guaranteed path to success. Anytime they will be deported. Perilous, risky, dangerous. And it is not worth the risk. Educational campaigns should highlight the dangers associated with illegal immigration. We have to go in for educational campaigns or awareness campaigns where we educate people, we create awareness about the perils or the dangers that go with illegal immigration. Importantly, the root causes must not be ignored. Root causes we have to focus on. Geopardy also you can recollect, Naidu. What are the root causes? Economic and political. India, we don't have political problems, economic. The central and state governments must address the underlying economic distress. We got the word distress many a time, and COVID time, many newspapers used whenever they would write about migrant workers. Migrant workers were in distress that time. Distress means a state of anxiety, uncertainty, suffering. Economic distress, deepening agricultural crisis, plural, social tensions and employment shortages that push people to take such risks. First of all, you have to ask the question, why do people take such risks? These are the factors. Nothing to do with polity. India politically stable. But other factors, especially economic factors like agricultural crisis, social tensions. Social tensions I don't consider. Employment shortages that push people to take such risks. Attention must be paid, again passive voice, to those who deliberately travel to conflict zones in search of opportunities. One more thing, some Indians, because they are desperate, they may take up some assignment Ukraine or Russia. That is a conflict, those are conflict zones. We should not allow them to do that. That is also very dangerous. How does it end? While altering US immigration policies may be difficult, we cannot do it, we should not do it also. They have their own rules and regulations we have to abide by, we have to comply with. The Indian government must address the reasons behind this large-scale migration with empathy and urgency. Main idea is being reiterated. How to look at this problem of illegal immigration to the US? Indian government must look at the root cause, economic, and Indian government has to understand. Indian government must show empathy and have to act on war footing. War footing means what? Urgency. Immediately they have to deal with that problem. I suppose it ends on that particular note. Now let us go to questions based on comprehension skill. Try to answer these. Main idea and summary. What is the central theme of the editorial? It's all about illegal migration, and already a few students have answered. India must address illegal immigration with urgency and empathy. Two important dimensions. One, urgency. On war footing, India has to act, and with empathy, understand their problems also and find out the root cause and work on the root cause. Inference and implicit meaning. Why does the editorial suggest that the timing of deportation should concern New Delhi? Here, editorial, we have come across the timing is also a concern. Why? It coincides with the return of seasonal workers? No. It suggests that the US is targeting only Indian immigrants? No. 145 countries, India is one of the 145 countries. It happened just before PM Modi's visit, indicating diplomatic pressure. Clearly mentioned, C is the answer. Very good. You guys got it right. Author's viewpoint and tone. Which of the following best describes the tone of the editorial? What is the tone of the editorial? Aggressive and confrontational? No. Sympathetic and analytical? Seems right. Indifferent and neutral? Then no point in writing? No. What is the answer? Sympathetic and analytical. It analyzes the reasons behind, and it says Indian government must have empathy. That means sympathetic towards illegal immigrants. Cause and effect. According to the editorial, what is one of the root causes of illegal immigration from India? Illegal immigration to the US, illegal immigration from India. You got to be careful with the expressions. Lack of awareness about US immigration laws? No. Economic distress, unemployment, and agricultural crisis. As I said, social tensions not the major reason. These are the major reasons. B is the answer. Logical reasoning and context-based understanding. Why does the US Embassy in Delhi emphasize that deportation is part of a broader initiative? The US Embassy in New Delhi has said it is a broader initiative to do what? To assure that India is not a targeted action against Indians? No. I think something went wrong here. To warn other countries about deportations? To justify the use of military flights? No. In a way, to encourage legal immigration. Or perhaps you can consider, yes, it should be, because it talks about emphasize that deportation is part of a broader initiative to assure India that This is not a targeted action against Indians. They want to, no. A is the answer, not D. A is the answer. A is perfect. Broader initiative to assure Indians that this campaign or this action is not targeted only looking at Indians, and there's a broader agenda. What is that? Making the rules very strict. Title and meaning. The title of the editorial, not worth the risk, refers to, what is the answer? This is, okay, yes sir, got it. Rajshekhar, Nagesh. The Indian government's approach to illegal migration, the dangers and uncertainties of illegal immigration. Not worth the risk, you can easily make out. B is the answer. Now, mini mocks, questions based on exam topics. First one, error location. Try to read meticulously and try to spot the error. Identify the part of the sentence that contains an error. The government has announced an ambitious plan to expand education funding in a manner that is ensure holistic development. Not difficult, one reading you should be able to spot the error. Nothing wrong with the word education funding. Expand education funding, nothing wrong. We have an error in the third part. What is it? In a manner that is ensure is not correct. In a manner that ensures. What is it? In a manner that ensures holistic development. Is ensure grammatically wrong. In a manner that ensures. Choose the most appropriate word to fill the blank. I think the words are missing. My mistake. Okay, I was doing it in a hurry. Haste makes waste, there is a saying, but try to guess. The success of India's education reforms is upon the effective implementation of the NEP and adequate funding. That's what I said. I did in a hurry and the words are missing, but we got this yesterday. No, the right word here. What is the right word here? Pivotal. Pivotal here means significant. I'll read the sentence. The success of India's education reforms is pivotal upon the effective implementation of the NEP and adequate funding. Here pivotal means based upon, important factor on which something is based. Very good, Nagesh. Nagesh has written pivotal. That is the right word. No second thoughts about that. Here you have the words. 2 blanks. Choose the most appropriate words to fill the blanks. The budget allocation for school education has increased, but the progress in achieving full FLN remains, making further essential. Remains inevitable? No. Remains pivotal, important, making further investments essential. So what is the answer here? B is the answer. Very good. You guys got it right. And these words cannot be used out of context. Choose the correct usage of inevitable. Word usage. We have 4 sentences. In one sentence it has been used properly, correctly. You have to choose that particular sentence. The new policy was inevitable in improving education funding. No. The government faced inevitable criticism for delaying the NEP implementation. Seems okay. He was inevitable wrong. He is inevitable upon the amount of funding received. So what is the answer here? When the government delays, criticism is inevitable, unavoidable. Based on that, the government faced inevitable criticism for delaying the NEP implementation. Unavoidable criticism. Choose a grammatically correct sentence. The early education system is facing challenges due to Anganwadi workers lacking sufficient training. The higher education budget have increased. Higher education budget have cannot be used. Take elimination approach. The government has taken pivotal steps in ensuring, to ensure. This is also wrong. Despite the increase of funding, still remains gaps. We cannot use still here. What is the answer based on that? A is the answer. Very good. Who is this? Manisha. And after that, I see a lot of students. Perfect. Choose the correct synonym of prerequisite. Prerequisite means what? Synonym. An easy one, should not be a problem. A, requirement, not alternative, not obstacle, not optional. A requirement beforehand, in advance, we use word prerequisite. Idioms and phrases, choose the correct meaning of the phrase, time is of the essence. The last sentence of yesterday's editorial, what does it mean? Time is of the essence. Time should not be considered important. Timing is not crucial for success. Immediate action is necessary. Delay also no. Answer is C. Immediate action is necessary. That's all for today. I hope you guys have got enriched. Try to work on some important words. We have got some important words and try to consolidate. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.